Hey everybody, my name's Macro, and today is May 4th. I have my Star Wars shirt on because I'm in love with Star Wars so much, and my family and I are so involved with it that I thought I'd make a cool drop sync by using the Star Wars logo, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that today. So this is what it sounds like.
Hey Mark, your dog took a shit. Can you come pick it up?
Oh my god. Okay, I'm coming. I'm gonna go back to working on the video.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Oh shit, what's up, Trooper? Did you work on the song a little bit? Okay.
Blast him! Drop your weapon!
So that's my trooper homie. He's got to go back to the Death Star. So yeah, let's get into this video. What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name's Macro, and I really hope you guys like that intro. Today was the perfect day to actually bust out the Stormtrooper armor that my dad has. He loves Star Wars, and I grew up with Star Wars because of him. And today is Star Wars Day, May the 4th, so it was perfect. Because with this tutorial I was able to take the Star Wars logo and then drop it into Serum and actually make a really cool drop and like Serum bass patch. So I'm going to show you guys what it is that I made and what it sounds like.
Don't know the power of the dark side.
Blast him! Drop your weapon! After him! Call for reinforcements! Blast him!
Yeah, so that's the drop I was able to make. This is the patch on its own, and also I turned off the master for right now because it's like crazy loud, and then there's this like these frequencies that are just bleeding through, so I don't want that to like kill your guys' ears. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to make that today, and I'm really proud of this. I'm also going to drop a preset link so that way you guys can download it, and also like the other things that I use, like this PHAT rack here, and also the Star Wars logo, so that way you guys can practice it on your own too, and then you can always drop in like your own different pictures or like images to make different kinds of sounds, but you have to make sure it's a PNG file, not a JPEG. So let me start by creating a new MIDI channel right here, and then we're going to drop Serum into it, as long as my computer loads and my OBS doesn't crash, because it kept crashing, which is really bugging me, because I was trying to make this like quick and easy for you guys, but then yeah, I just kept getting stuck. So let me pull up the logo for you guys. So here's the logo right here. It's a PNG file. I'm going to put that in a link too, so that way you guys can download it. So all you're going to do is just drag your PNG file over into Serum, import it, and then right here we have the Star Wars logo. And when I created it, I dropped it down 2 semitones. But actually, you know what? That's not important. I'm just going to show you guys how I was able to modify it so that way it works best with your sound design. So all you got to do is come up here to edit, which is this little pencil, and what you're going to do is you're going to go to, let's see, I think it was, what I do, I think it was normalize each of them, morph, crossfade, spectral, and then down here I just took away the these little like pieces that you don't need. Went ahead, removed multi-selection right there, and then you go through it, and then you find more that you can delete. So you're just gonna go select them all, remove those guys from there, and then you're gonna remove these ones too. So now they should all be different frames. Now we'll just make sure that they're good with the morphing, crossfade, and spectral. Normalize each of them. And then what I did was squarify them here. So with the formula, you go to multis here, and then you're gonna do, I guess that's procedure, squarify. Take that out. Alright, so then this is what it's gonna look like. So as you go through it, you'll hear it. So that's the information that you get from the actual logo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take that one out, and then I'm going to work backwards showing you guys how I made the patch. So I'll turn all these off, and then we'll get into how I made it. But yeah, this has been annoying because OBS keeps crashing on me. I've just been trying to get this all like squared away for you guys. Ha, squared. Square tables, they're the best. Alright, so what I did was I have it here already in my patch, and then put it down 2 semitones, brought it up 2 on the unison, brought the detune blend down, wavetable position right here 39, and you guys are going to get this anyway, so I'm going to go through it real quick, but this is what it sounds like. And of course it has the noise on there as well. And then for the second oscillator, I added in full grown. I think I got this from, yeah, the Jaws demo from Cymatics. So I took the full grown wavetable that they had as part of like their like demo pack. I don't have the whole thing, and I just brought it up 2 octaves and then up 7 on the semitones. Wavetable position brought up, and I started modulating with the LFO for like the levels, wavetable, and all that. And then after that, this is what it sounds like. So not too like interesting, but then when you add the filter, I think it brings it up. Yeah. Quality wubs right there. So after you place your LFO to modulate a bunch of the different parameters, then I went into the effects tab, added some distortion, hyper to give, actually, you know what, this should be up a little bit more. So hyper is going to give it some of that stereo widening, so that way it sounds a bit better. And then put on a little bit of delay, set like this. Flange filter minus. So with the flanger, when you put it on your sound, when you start messing with the cutoff and the resonance, then you're going to start getting different frequencies that really like pop and sound good and different tonalities. So it's always good to mess around with that, and then you're going to find like the ones that really, really work. And then I put an EQ on it, and I learned this from one of Virtual Riot's tutorials on his live stream. So if you put it on the high pass mode, it's going to cut out some of those bad frequencies that are a little piercing at the end, and it'll help like tame the sound. And then I also have this little notch going too, to give it a bit more like vowel. And then you got to always put that multi-band compressor, that pre-OTT to your OTT. And some reverb. And then in the matrix, this is really good that I learned from Virtual Riot too. So with another LFO, you just bring it up a bit. This is gonna kind of like pitch it up with every hit, so it doesn't sound like so basic. It sounds a little different. And then you come here, and then you click on LFO3, and then you change the destination to global and master tuning. And then when you bring the output down and you click on it, then it's going to create a automated, an automation lane in Ableton, and then you can start modulating it. So that's what I did right here with the mod 18. So that's what I was able to do with the pitching, and I could actually specify when I wanted it to go up and down, like in extremes. So that actually helped a lot when I was creating it. And then with LFO2, if you take this and you create a different shape as opposed to LFO1, and then you put it on a couple of parameters, it really changes the sound and it gives you different tones. So when I'm playing it, it kind of sounds like there's a chant in the back going, hey, 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 but it's not. It's coming straight from just the patch itself. So like that pumping, that's coming from some of the different parameters that I put on it. You kind of can't hear it too much, but when I throw the master on it and I put the post-processing on it too down here, then it really pops. Okay, so I think that's it for the patch, and you guys can dissect it too. I also put some macro controls too, so that way you can mess around with like changing the changing the shape of it and the sound. So like it's put on resonance, and I think that's it for macro 1. Macro 2, it's affecting the cutoff on the filter. So both of these macros are assigned to the filter, so that way it's going to change the tonality and you know, vary it up a bit when you're actually creating or drop. So the first thing that I put on it was Yo Man. So it adds a little bit more like metallic flavor to it. And for the dry wet on it, I put it at 23% because too much of it, it just sounds like poop. It sounds kind of weird. It's like really rhythmy. I didn't want it to be too rhythmy, and I just wanted it to sound, I don't know what the word is for it, but like I wanted it to be clean, and it started losing like the tonality that I liked. Next, I put the PHAT rack. This one I got from one of Crow's videos, and he loves Virtual Riot so much, and he was able to like recreate a PHAT rack. So I'll put that on the link for you too. So shout out to Crow, he's dope. Afterwards, I put a gate because it was bleeding. It still kind of bleeds, but this helped a bit. After that, I put an EQ standard, just cutting out the lows and some bad frequencies. By the way, make sure that you cut around 3000 to 3006 or 700 because that's what pierces the ears. And then I did some mid-side EQing, so that way it just sounds better in stereo and mono. And then also in Ozone Imager. You can use different plugins too to check the stereo width of your sound as well. You don't have to use Ozone, but this is what I have. This is fucking wide. But yeah, that's it for like the sound. When it came to modulating it, I used the macro controls, and then I also took the LFO rate from the actual Serum patch, and I started changing it. Yeah, but by using all these different automations and creating macro controls, that's my name, macro. So if you do that, then you're going to get some crazy sounds from it and variations. And then within the MIDI too, if you guys are creating you know, bass patches, when you overlap them too, it kind of like shifts up to like the next you know, note, whatever's like laying on top of it, and then it'll give it a different tone. So like this is what I did for this one. So yeah, it creates cool little tones to it. One other thing that I did to create this shape like that, all you got to do is you can do this in your actual like MIDI lane, or you can do it in your bus. And when you do it in your bus, it's going to affect everything in it. So it really depends on if you want it to affect all your bass sounds or if you want it to just affect one single one. What I did was I just put AutoPan, and AutoPan, you just type it into Ableton on all results, and then you'll find it. What you do is you bring the amount to 100, and then you change from hertz to like this little note sign right here. You bring the phase, I think it's like at 180, you bring it up to 360, and then you can start automating the rate by just clicking it, and it'll pop up here on your on Ableton, and then this is where you can start messing with the AutoPan, and that's what I did. So like here, it's not being affected by it at all because I have the device on this spot as opposed to the rest of the track. And you can do that too when it comes to like intros to your tracks and stuff to create better like atmospheric textures, or if you want to switch between like one genre to the other, or have like a break in between to kind of like shift what it is that you had at the beginning of your song to like the drop or the build or anything like that. So make sure that you utilize that too. Other than that, it's pretty much it. Basic kick, snares, things like that. Of course, I have to have the Star Wars sound fonts.
Drop your weapons! After him! Call for reinforcements! Blast him!
So yeah, that's what I have. If you guys like this and you found it really helpful, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to have a bunch of other tutorials coming out too. I've been holding off a bit, just a bunch of stuff going on and trying to find the right time to upload and actually make a video. If you also want to see the other things that are going to be coming out, I always put little previews up on my Instagram. That's at Macro Official, and that's on all of my other social media sites. So on Instagram, Snapchat, my YouTube, my Facebook, it's all MKRO Official. And another reason I haven't been doing videos is because I'm playing too much Fortnite. So if you're on Fortnite, fucking just add me on the Epic Friends list at MKRO Official, and we'll play some fucking Fortnite, and we can talk about music and other shit while we take down some other squads too. So yeah, thank you guys so much. If you hung out to the end of the video, you're a true G, and you can download all the other presets, other Ableton racks, all that stuff. I'm gonna have a bunch of stuff for you guys, and I'm gonna be giving out more. Also, check out my Moon Love video if you guys haven't. I'm gonna put up the preset on there too for you guys to check out. So other than that, I hope you guys have a good day. Happy Star Wars Day, and may the 4th be with you.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Blast him!